Technology. Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 4. Today, we're going to learn about pronunciation hacks. I'm going to teach you things that after you learn them, you are going to tell me how come this is the first time I hear about it, because this is making my life so much easier. Okay? This is what I want you to say at the end of our session today. I'm going to give you some tips and hacks and tricks to make your pronunciation really simple. Today is day 4. On day 1, we talked about why pronunciation is important. On day 2, we talked about, and when I said why it's important, it was way beyond the idea that a person should improve their accent to sound native. Of course, we want to improve our clarity and our pronunciation, but it's not just about how we sound. It's about our confidence. It's about how we learn new words. It's about the ease and the effortlessness in our speech. I just spat all over my phone. It happens with clear pronunciation. So that was day 1. On day 2, we talked about sounds, in particular vowels. We talked about similar vowel pairs. Everything is on my account, so you can go and check it out and still watch it. On day 3, we talked about intonation, rhythm, and stress. We talked about prosody and why it is so incredibly important. And today, day 4, I'm going to give you some pronunciation hacks. I'm just going to look at the comments, making sure that everything's okay, that you can hear me, see me, and enjoy this session fully. There we go. Okay. Day 5, which is tomorrow, is going to be super exciting because you're going to get to coach with me live. You're going to get to see how I coach and train people on their pronunciation. And I'm going to invite some of you to join me live so I can coach you. It's only going to happen on Instagram. So if you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube, I recommend that tomorrow you log in or you catch me on Instagram. My handle is Hadar at AccentsWay. So if you don't follow me there just yet, make sure you follow me. Also, and that's going to be the last thing before I get started. Also, on Tuesday, I'm going to teach you how to take everything that I've been teaching you throughout the week, and I'm going to teach you how to take that and go deeper and how you can make your pronunciation simple and clear so you can finally reach that breakthrough that you've been wanting and looking for. Because like I told you, effective pronunciation work can transform your English. It happened to me and it happened to so many of my students. It helped my students build their confidence, become more fluent, improve their vocabulary, improve their grammar, specifically the pronunciation work that we do. So I'm going to give you the 3 steps so you can do that as well on your own, the 3 steps to improving your pronunciation. And it's absolutely free. I have 2 classes on Tuesday, and if you want to sign up, it's like I said, it's free. Just write the word class. If you're on Facebook or on Instagram, you can just write the word class, and you're gonna get a link to sign up. And if you want to, okay, I did not pin my comment. Hold on, pin comment. If you want, okay, now it's in the comments. If you're on YouTube, you can just click the link that is right by my video. Okay. Christina says that pinned comment is not on Instagram anymore, but I think it is. It looks like it's okay. She's lying. Anyway, let's get started with some pronunciation hacks. Okay, the first one, and let me know if you know this or not, is about the TH. And usually when we pronounce the TH, we want to stick the tongue out. We talked about it in day number 2. Think, theater, theory, they, that, them, another, brother. The tongue usually comes out. And we don't want to drop it. Okay, so for example, if we were to say sink instead of think, because we replace it with an S, it's going to end up sounding like a different word. If we, in the phrase with some people, drop the TH completely and we say with some people, it may kind of like become unclear. So we don't want to drop it when there are a lot of a lot of consonants. We don't want to drop it in general. However, there are a few words, and today we're going to talk about two, where you can actually drop the TH to make your life a lot easier. And that is, can you guess what words I'm thinking about or talking about? When can you drop the TH? Let me know. So in the words clothes, I'm going to put on my clothes, there is a TH and then a Z sound. However, because this transition is exceptionally challenging, even for native speakers, what happens is that people tend to drop the TH here and just eliminate it and pronounce it as clothes. Clothes. Did you know about this? So you don't have to say clothes, but clothes. Just like close the door. Or I'm going to go buy some clothes. Clothes. And the same, and this one is even better because it's very frequent, in the word months. This is like the proper pronunciation where you pronounce the full NTHS, months. And some people might pronounce it like that, months. But most people, especially in American English, would drop the TH here. So instead of months, you can say months, months, many months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, in 6 months, 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 months. Okay? Good. Now, once I give you the tip, you can see if you're on Instagram, you can see that Christina writes the rule. I recommend that you write it as well so you remember it better. Okay? So, close and months. There is a question, cloth, about cloth. Cloth, like a piece of cloth. Then here we pronounce it with a different vowel sound. And we are not going to drop the TH, cloths. Okay? We're not going to say cloths. So here it's an open A sound, cloth, a piece of cloth, versus clothes. That's a long O as in go. Good. The next tip that I have for you, this little hack, it has to do with the R sound. How do I pronounce an R after a T? What happens to the T when it's before an R sound? Like in, I want to tell you what it is without telling you what it is. The thing that grows and has leaves and you see it outside and it's green. What is it? How would you pronounce the T there? Money doesn't go on, grow on. Good. T-R-E-E. How is the T pronounced? So it is not free. We don't pronounce it as an F. But did you know that we actually don't pronounce it as a T either? It's not t-re, t-re. Listen up. Tree. Tree. I'm sure you've heard it before, but maybe you haven't focused on it. When the T appears before an R, the T becomes a ch sound, as in chicken. Tree, tree, train, training, trust, traffic. Say the words write the words that I'm saying. Okay, every word that you catch, you write it. And also, I recommend that you write it with the CH, so you get used to the new pronunciation. Now, it's something that is the reason why that happens is because the tree wants to get the T wants to get closer to the R. So instead of pronouncing it up here, t, 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 you pull the tongue in a little bit and you pronounce it further back, ch, 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 and and then it becomes more of a ch sound. Tree, 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 trust, train, country. Well done, you guys. Good. Let me see here on YouTube and Facebook. Train, tree, traffic, trust. Very good, Milena. You're here as well again. Good. What about clusters like okay, I'm going to get back to it. I'm going to talk about some of it. Good. Now, by the way, the same happens when there is a D sound right before the R. What happens to the D? Listen up. Dress, draft, drought. How do you write drought? Dress, draft, drought. Okay. Dream, drink, drunk. What's going on here? What happened to the T? Good. Drought. Elvin. Good. You caught the word. Draw. Good. Can you hear that I'm not really pronouncing a D sound? I'm not saying dress. I'm saying G, dress. It's like a J sound. The J is a voiced pair. It's the voiced pair of the Ch sound. J, J, dress, draft, drought, dream. Very good. Okay, the next tip I have for you is how to pronounce the H sound in certain words. And now I want to talk about the H that you can drop in certain words. What are the words? Let's see if you know. What are the words that have an H at the beginning, but the H is not pronounced? Is it like justice? Yes, 100%. It's like justice. It's like judge, dress. Listen, dress, justice. Dress, justice. You wouldn't think about it, but really that's what happens to the D before an R. Hour, good. How is the H is always pronounced? What do I mean by pronounced? It means that you want to release air. How? You can't say ow. All right? At least in maybe in some dialects, you might hear it that way, but let's say in general American received pronunciation, standard English, you will hear the H pronounced in the word how. Hour, good, not pronounced. Herbs, well done. In American English, the H is not pronounced in the word herbs. Honesty, good, Victor. H is not pronounced. What else? Hone, you do pronounce the H. Hone. Honest, you do not pronounce the H. Good. Honor, honest. You guys are good. House, the H is always pronounced. Honor, honest. Hours. There is one word that you're missing. You said honest, you said honor, you said hours, you said herbs in American English. In British English, you will hear herbs. And by the way, the name herb in English, American, British, whatever dialect, the H is pronounced for the name herb. Air, very good. Who said that? Katya, good. Hospital, the H is pronounced. House, the H is pronounced. That's it. These are the words where we don't pronounce the H. Where else do we not pronounce the H? We don't pronounce the H in the words him, his, her, his, him, his, he, when it's unstressed and connected. Is he coming? Right? Remember yesterday we talked about connected speech. Is he? I'm not saying is he. I want to connect the words, and to help me do that, I drop the H. Is he coming? It's a responsibility. It's a responsibility. If I stress it, by the way, it's her responsibility, then I would fully pronounce the H. But usually when it's unstressed, tell her to go. Tell her, tell him, tell him. Okay? When I say tell him, it's a reduction of tell him, but it's also a reduction of what? The phrase tell him. What else could it stand for? Let's see. Okay. And that was the H tip. Let's see if you can answer. Tell him. Let's tell him and tell them. Very good. Not telling, even though it does sound very similar, telling, but then I would go up here, telling. I'm not going to pronounce it with an M. Here it's tell 'em. Close my lips, right? Good. Does it happen for let me? Here, what happens for let me is like it's reduced English. So I would say let me. Let me think about it. Right? It's not exactly the same rule because there is no H here, but absolutely the same rule about reductions. It's kind of like I say, I'm gonna instead of going to. That's a way to reduce a phrase. Have to go, right? It's a reduced phrase. Have to, have to. So let me as one of them. Okay. People are requesting for me to teach the word entrepreneur. So I will, even though that's not the next one, but it could be. Could be. So entrepreneur, or there are several pronunciations for this word. I'm going to teach you the easiest one to pronounce. The primary stress is at the end. Remember that. Entrepreneur. Because when you have long words, you guys, the first thing you got to ask yourself is where is the stress? Where is the stress? The word entrepreneur starts with on. Turn it on. Don't be confused by the E. On. Then trupra, and yes, I have a video about it. Trupra, easy. Notice the TR, right? It's a ch sound. Trupra. Entrepreneur. And then the last syllable could be just like ner. Like you're such a nerd. Ner. Entrepreneur. Or you might hear people saying entrepreneur, which is very similar. It's more of an or. Or I also heard people saying entrepreneur, newer with a y sound. But I think that for non-native speakers, just to connect the N to the R, ner is the easiest. So you can do that. Entrepreneur. Okay, next tip. The next tip that I have for you is the fact that when we reduce phrases, we talked about it yesterday, sometimes different phrases may sound the same. For example, what do you reduces to, and write it down. So you like write it down phonetically, what I'm about to tell you. What are ya? Write what you hear. What are ya? What do you? What are ya? So let's practice it. What do you think? What do you want? What are you doing? No, I'm already giving you the next stage. Again, what do you? What do you think? What do you want? What do you want to drink? What do you do in life? Okay. What do you? Let's see if you wrote it. What do you? Good. So it's not really what'd ya. I didn't say what'd ya, but you can say that. Would you do last night? Okay, good. Now, what are ya is also a reduction of the phrase, what are you? Listen, what do you want? What do you want? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm saying it exactly the same way. So now I want you to practice with me. What are you? And yes, you can write the middle sound with a D, or you can write it with an R if you use the flapped R in your language, like the ra sound. They're practically the same. They're the same. Ra. What are you? What do you do? What are you doing? What do you do? What are you doing? They sound the same. What do you do? What are you doing? What do you do? What are you doing? Okay, good. Another tip that I have for you is that you do not have to pronounce the L if it's challenging for you. If you are someone who struggles with the dark L, you don't have to pronounce the L in words with the LW spelling, for example, or LR. Always, already, all right, right? So I did create some tension, and that's the dark L. We talked about it on day 2, but you can totally just drop the L. If you struggle with the L, always. My tongue is down. Always. Already. All right. All right. I'm going to do it. All right. Did not put the L there. All right. All right. And yes, world is on my list. Don't worry. Good. Next up, when we have calm, bomb, palm, LM at the end, I hope you're writing this down, by the way. When you have LM at the end, you also don't have to pronounce the L. Actually, most people don't pronounce the L. Some people will. Some people will say calm, but a lot of people just say calm down. The palm of your hand. Okay? Lip balm. So not balm, but balm. Totally, you can totally drop the L here. Speaking of dropping, write down the words that I'm saying now. In the following words, the B is not pronounced. Bomb, not bomb. So when you have the MB spelling at the end, you do not pronounce the B. Bomb. Comb. Lamb. Okay? Let's see if I have more examples here. So you don't need to pronounce the B sound. Can you think of more words that have MB at the end? Bomb, comb, tomb. Very good. Crumb. Pick up the crumbs. Thumb. Very good. Thumbnail. Finally, it works. Thumbnail. Good. Numb. Good. I didn't think about this one right now. Good. Thumbnail. Climb. Very good. All right. So all those words that have the MB spelling pattern, we don't pronounce the B sound. Okay. Put me in the comments if you're brave, if you used to pronounce the B, just so I know if this was helpful at all. If you used to pronounce the B in any of these words, and if you are on whatever platform, limb, good. Some, yes, it ends with an M, but it's not spelled with a B. So you're cheating here a little bit. So you have a list of beautiful words to practice. Notice that the pattern is MB at the end. Okay. So if you used to, okay, raise, some people are raising their hands here. Good. All right. Now let's talk about the pronunciation. Okay, great question. How about slumber when it's within the word? Like slumber party, the B is pronounced. Good question. By the way, we see that as well when we look at the word sign, right? So here the G is not pronounced, but when this word has a different root, like has a suffix, like in signature, right? Then here we do pronounce the G. So sign, signature, and slumber, even though in this pattern, when it's at the end of a word, bombarding, for example, they've been bombarding the place. Bombard. Here we do hear the B, but the word bomb, we don't hear the B. Okay, good. Plum. Yeah, plumbing. Someone asked me about the T in clusters. Cluster is a sequence of consonants, one after another, usually that appear either at the beginning of a syllable, middle, or end, or middle of a word or end of the word. For some people, clusters like texts and lives and minds and strength are easy. If you are a Ukrainian speaker, you probably have no issues with pronouncing clusters. But if you're a Japanese speaker or a Spanish speaker, you probably don't dig pronouncing clusters at the end of words in particular, because that doesn't exist in your language. In fact, it's a constraint. Like you can't have more than one consonant at the end of a word. So when you try to speak a second language that has that, it might be a little challenging. So if this is challenging for you, then pay attention because you're going to like this tip. When the T or D appear between two consonants, even when you can, especially when you connect two words together, remember we talked about connected speech, then you can definitely drop the T and it's going to be fine. But you have to say it quickly. For example, if I take the phrase just saying, I'm just saying, so I pronounce the T, it's like a held T, just saying, I can drop the T and just connect the two words together without the T. I'm just saying that this should be taught in school. I'm just saying the best thing. So here we have TTH, best thing, but I can drop the T because it's between two consonants. When I connect two words together, it's the best thing. Best thing. So I transition from the S to the TH. Not an easy transition, but easier than STTH, right? Simple is better. Clarity over accuracy. Okay. I stand with them. Stand with. I stand with them, right? You can totally drop the D. It's not a mistake to pronounce the D. Only drop it if you struggle with clusters. She kept going and going and going. Now I pronounce the T, but I can also drop it. She kept going and going and going. Okay? Good. Okay, how to pronounce rivalry. Rivalry. Vol, dark L, re. Kept going, kept going. She kept going. All right. Let's see what else I have here for you. I think that's it. I'm just going to teach you about the flap T, and then we're going to open it up for questions. Oh, no. I have a few more things for you. So the next thing I want to teach you is words that have WO at the beginning. For example, I'm going to say a few words, write them down in the chat, and then we're going to break it down. Work, worth, worm, world, worship. So WOR, WOR. Work. If you have a question, you can ask it. Word, worth. I realized that my cup of water wasn't here. And then I said, no, it's fine. And then I ate nuts before the live. And now a little piece is stuck in my throat. Wait, I might have to drink water straight from the bottle. Apologies, my friends. I usually don't do it, but it's not possible to get up and get a cup. Okay, worm. Worst. That's a tragedy. Worm. Worst. Worse. Worth. World. What's the secret here? We do not pronounce the O. Okay? I don't say worm. The early bird gets the worm. I don't say warm, even though there is an O in my brain. If you come from a phonetic language, the O gets you to want to say, oh, warm. But it's not. It's worm. It's kind of like you eliminate the O. Worm. Work, not work. Word, not ward. Why? Because ward is a different word spelled with A. Ward, like the neurological ward at the hospital. Ward. WOWARD. Write it down. Ward versus word. One word. So write those two words down so I know that you know what I'm talking about. Ward, word. So what I want you to think about when trying to pronounce the word word, WORD, is that you want to go from the W, w, to the R, See, the lips are doing the same thing. W, and then you connect the two. Were, work. That's it. No O, no vowel in between, not world. Nope. World, worth, worm, work. Okay? Worthy. Good word. You just made it worthwhile. War has an O sound. War. Warm. It's warm outside. It's the early bird gets the worm. Good. Where were you? Where were you? Where were? Practice it with me. Where were you in the world? Okay, now let's get to the word that everyone's here for. World. So we practice the beginning. Were. And then it's a dark L. Whirl. And then it's a D. Duh. Get to the D and get to the L. Because if you don't pronounce the L, word, it's going to sound like word. World. World. Around the world. Good. And what was the last thing I wanted to teach you? I think that's it. Just maybe a few fun words. And then I'm going to ask you to tell me what you'd like me to teach you. So words that you struggle with, how to pronounce certain words. So the word subtle, subtle, subtle. There is a subtle difference between this and that. Pronounced with a B, we do not pronounce the B. Write the word down in the comments so I know you know what word I'm talking about. Subtle. There's a subtle difference. Subtle. Good. And we pronounce it with a flapped T and an L. So there is settle, there is subtle, and there is saddle. If you can write those three words, you're going to get a gold star from me within the same comment so I can see it. In this order: settle, subtle, saddle. Settle, subtle, saddle. Different pronunciations, but they all sound very similar. I'm going to pin. Settle, almost. Saddle. Okay, yeah, saddle. Good. DCI, yes, you got it. Just one more L. No, one more D. Saddle. Yes. Settle. Wait, I want to find. There we go. Settle, subtle, saddle. Let's see here. Good for you. Delia, good. Okay. Let's do another. How do I challenge you even more? I'm going to say a few words, similar words in a certain order, and then you're going to have to write it down in that order. And I hope I will remember the order that I said them in. Christina, hold me accountable. Don't say it yet, though. Okay, the words are stuck, stock, stack. Write it in the right order. Stuck, stock, stack. One more time. Stuck, stock, stack. Very good. Okay, we have some answers here. Stuck, stock, stack. Good. Good. Bed, bud, bought. Bed, bud, bought. What am I saying? Bed, bud, bought. Almost. What's the last one? Okay. No. Okay. You get an A. A plus here. Let's see if there is bed, bud, Jida, very good. Bought. I'm not saying but, not B-U-T. I'm saying B-O-U-G-H-T. Bought. And I'm saying bud with a D. Bed. I'm going to go into my bed. A bud. That is, I see the buds coming out of the ground. And bought. Good. Okay. Hold on. Sorry. Had a phone call. Forgot to mute my. Okay. One more thing. Another one? Do you want another one? Let's do another one. Okay. Box. Bucks. Books. Box. Bucks. Books. Box. Bucks. Books. Very good. We have an answer already. Good. Box. Bucks. Books. Good job, you guys. Very experienced listeners here. Well done. Look. Luke. Luck. Look. Luke. Luck. In this order. Look. Luke. Luck. Good. Wait. Look. Very good. Look. No, wait. Sorry. Almost. You almost got it. Look. Luke. Luck. This is it. Luke with an E at the end because it's a name. Capital L. You want me to be the annoying grammar teacher. Okay. Good job, you guys. Good job. It's a cheap chip. It's a cheap chip. Write the whole phrase. It's a cheap chip. Let's see. Good. It's a cheap chip. That was easy. Okay, good. Well done. What other questions do you have for me before we wrap up? Let's see here. Are you saying we shouldn't say tell him, like stress the H? Okay, that's a good question about the tell him, because you remember I told you that we usually drop the H when the him is not pronounced, which is most of the time, because pronouns are usually reduced. Because we use pronouns when we already know who we're talking about. So this is why it's not an important word, right? Tell him to go. Tell him I'm going to think about it. I'm going to write him a letter. Write him. So yes, I would drop the H here. If I were, sorry, my microphone is, if I were to stress, tell him that, then I want to emphasize the fact that I mean him and not her, for example, right? That's when I would stress it. Another thing, if there is a vowel before, I want you to play him this song. I cannot drop it, even though it's unstressed, right? Like it has to be a consonant before the H. And this is something that I didn't tell you. It has to be a consonant before the H so that I could actually drop it. Play him this song. I can't say play him the song, play him the song. play him the song. Maybe I could. Like if I say it really quickly, play him. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe you could reduce it a little bit, but it has to be done quickly. Um, can you give us a page where there are more examples of the minimal pairs? I have a lot of those phrases in the on my website. Go to hadarshemish.com. Play him a song. Yes, that's what I said. Doubt. That's another great word. Oh, I have a few more for you. Doubt. 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 No B. Doubt. Not doubt. Salmon, my favorite word to teach. No L. Salmon. Salmon. Grilled salmon. Salmon skin. Salmon. What else? Colonel, lieutenant colonel, lieutenant colonel. It's not colonel. There is no L there. Colonel. Debt. That's another good one. No B. Debt. I'm debt free. Do you know this phrase? I'm debt free. Dave Ramsey. There's this guy that helps people get out of debt. And they have this they declare that they're debt free. So people like that's their goal, to be debt free. Kernel, yes. So someone wrote kernel like a computer kernel or a corn kernel with a K. It's the same pronunciation as the word kernel with a C. Kernel. Shell versus cell. If you confuse those, then it's probably because you have the sh sound and then the cell. Shell, cell. Sh, s, sh, s. Can you hear me? My mic is like all over the place. Shell, cell, right? So that is a bit more like there is a hiss there. The tongue is more forward versus sh, where it's further in the back. Okay. All right, my friends, what about hurt versus heart? Let's talk about that. Hurt versus heart. So the word hurt is a stir sound. So there is no vowel there really. We do pronounce the H. Her, hurt. For the word heart, we drop the jaw. It's a full on ah sound. There is a pure vowel there. Heart. Give me your heart. Don't hurt his heart. Her hair, another pair that we can practice. Her, same thing. Her, H to an R. Her, were, girl, and hair. Here, look at my tongue. He, her. Here, you can't see my tongue. Her, he, totally see my tongue. Can totally see my tongue. Okay, meth versus math. Bed, bad. That's the We talked about it on day 2. All right. Good. Don't hurt her hair. Don't hurt her hair. We were working around the world. Another phrase that I like saying. Write it down. We were working around the world, and then say it out loud. Her hair is certainly curly. Someone has been doing my exercises, Alex. I see it. Okay. Okay, someone is confusing cop and cap. So one is an open back ah sound, cop, and cap. That's a front vowel. Ah. And there is also cup, which is a middle vowel. The name of the vowel is a cup sound. Cap, cup, cop. Look at my mouth. Cap, cup, cop. Remember that any vowel that you produce is a result of the position of the jaw, the position of the tongue, the position of the lips. Okay? What the tongue is doing, how high it is, if it's forward or backwards, if the mouth is open or not, and if the lips are rounded or not. Okay, pseudo. Okay, pseudo. Good. Travel versus trouble. Let's look at it together. Travel versus trouble. As in cat, travel, and trouble. Here we do want to pronounce the B sound. And for Spanish speakers, when you have B and V, in Spanish, then you usually pronounce them the same, like a V sound. In American English, you have to make that distinction, okay? Very and berry sound different. Very, that's a V sound, bottom lip touching the top teeth. Very versus berry, where the lips close to a B. All right, my friends, I think that's it. So tomorrow we are going to be here again for live coaching. So I'm going to work live with some of you. Make sure you show up on Instagram because I'm not going to be on other platforms. And also, if you want more and if you want to go deeper and if you want to get my secrets to making pronunciation simple and clear with a right, effective process so you don't waste time and you don't feel exhausted and you feel effortless when you speak and you deliver your message clearly and you build confidence and fluency, then make sure you join my live class. It's absolutely free. It's on Tuesday. If you can't make it for the times that I've mentioned, then just sign up and then you're going to get a link with a replay. Okay. So I recommend that you sign up anyway, even if you can't make it. And I think that's it. It's free. Just write the word class. If you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, write the word class. And if you're on YouTube, just click the link in the description. All right, my friends, thank you so, so much. And it's going to be recorded and it's on my Facebook page, it's on my Instagram page, and it's on my YouTube channel, and it's going to stay there. All right, my friends, thank you so, so much. Have a beautiful day.